Okay, well, welcome to Island Reaction TV. We are going to show you how to do some real simple, delicious homemade chips and salsa. So first, to go on to what we're going to do, I'm going to set this bowl aside so I can have room to show you. This stuff is over at Kroger's Herdez Spicy Guacamole Traditional. And this is about almost 1 pound. It's just their smaller size. It's in the refrigerated section. And we have, this is a 1 pound jar of hot traditional Kroger salsa. And this is the Kroger 3 pound sour cream. And that's it. I mean, if you want to put a little bit of lemon in there just to keep it a little fresher for a little bit longer, not really necessary if you're going to just hammer down and eat, and most of it's going to be gone. Oh, and don't forget the most important thing so that you can have your chips and salsa is the this is my favorite one that I found. Get the Galita. It's the Mexican restaurant style. And I've tried a lot of chips, and I've even had chips in a Mexican restaurant that's a pretty decent Mexican restaurant that their chips are horrible. They taste like something out of a bag. And this is in a bag, and it's restaurant style, and it truly is something that you would expect in a good, fine Mexican restaurant. They're really perfect in every way. They're not too thick, they're crunchy, they're crisp, they have a good flavor, and they don't hurt your mouth when you eat them. You know what I mean? Sometimes they injure your gums, they're so tough. So nevertheless, let's get on to this. I call it homemade because if you just buy one of these, that's delicious. If you buy one of these, that's delicious. And any kind of a chip or tortilla is good with that too. But by combining just the right amounts of these at home, you end up, for a low cost, you end up with a huge party amount, family gathering amount of guacamole, salsa, dip, whatever you want to call it. It's chips and dip. But this is just the right amount, and it's really delicious. It melts in your mouth. You can even you could just eat it by the spoonful. That's how good this is. So don't get me wrong. This may look simple and cheap, but if you combine all this the way I'm going to show you, you're going to love it. And all the people that come to eat at your party or gathering are going to love it also. So let's get these things going. It doesn't really matter what you do first, because it's all going to get mixed together. I'm going to go ahead and open all these up first. I remember this one was really sealed nicely. And don't throw the lid away on your sour cream, because we're probably not going to use all of the sour cream. Bear with me. This particular one's a little tough. I did this yesterday. Sorry, got my angle right. I did this yesterday, and I struggled with this particular wrapper. They sealed it really good. So maybe I should have done this before I turned the camera on, but let's see here. I'm doing it backwards. Okay, so you take this one off first, and then you take this one off. I'm trying to do them at the same time. I thought there was something different. Anyway, I'm an idiot. rinse my hands here. Okay, now back to business. And don't leave any little tiny pieces of plastic from anything to get into the salsa like they do sometimes. That happens in restaurants, actually. All right, now that was simple. All right, so I guess I'll go ahead and just show you. First of all, we're gonna do all of this, which I said it's about a one-size container. Dump all that in there. And they have one that's mild, but I prefer the spicy, as I think most people probably would. If you dip something into a chip, a tortilla chip into something, you probably, now I think I'm probably going to go ahead and let's gauge this. This is 3 pounds. I'm going to use about half of this. And I'm just guesstimating. This is a 3-pound container. So if I take about half of it, I guess that's about 1.5 pounds. So yeah, something like that. And let's get a little smaller spoon. And then this one, I'm going to use about probably half of this. I don't really want the whole thing because I don't want it to be like, quote, salsa. So you can't really see, but I can tell by looking at the inside. I used about half of this. All right, so now you can see that's about my consistency. So I used about half of one of the large sour creams, half of one of the jars of traditional hot Kroger salsa, and then I already threw the container away that you already saw. So if you don't remember, rewind back to when I showed you that. Now we're just going to mix this up like so. Oh, sorry. I'm an amateur at this a little bit. Back that up a little bit. There you go. So we're just going to mix this up. And if you think you like a little bit more of something or a little bit less of something, you know, you're doing this at home. So you can sort of do it your own little flavor. And like I said, as with any kind of salsas or guacamoles or anything like that, if you want to squirt some lemon juice in there, that just adds to the flavor and helps preserve it and from turning brown. Keeps it fresh for a little bit longer. But like I say, if you make one of these here like this, you're probably not doing it for like 2 people. So if you're doing it for more than 2 or 3 people, this is probably what you're going to be doing. And just feather it around like that. And you can see, if you wanted a little bit more guacamole, it should be greener. If you want a little bit more salsa, it should be redder. If you want a little bit more on the sour cream side, it should be whiter. This is actually basically a guacamole, just a lighter shade of guacamole color. I don't know if I have good lighting in here, but from what I'm looking at, this is just a little bit lighter than your typical green guacamole color. Thus the sour cream. Now, don't forget, I don't care how good your salsa is. I've really made a mess of this. Bear with me here. I didn't realize I was throwing stuff all over the place. So, yeah, like I was getting ready to say, I don't care how good your dip is, or your guacamole, your sauce, or whatever. no matter how delicious it is, if you don't have a good chip to go with it, you're sort of swimming upstream. So these are just perfect. Where's my camera at? These are perfect. And they're not too thick, they're not too thin. They're crispy, they're fresh, they have a really good flavor. And once again, that is Calida. Cal, I don't know how you say it. Just look for the little dancing people there. And you can hear my crunch. Mmm. Mmm. No double dipping. Mmm. Mmm. That is really delicious. Got a nice little heat to it. A little bit of an after heat. Mmm. And it's just a perfect amount of every ingredient. I'm not even kidding. If you're having a gathering and you're a little short on meat or other food, if you can make lots of this, they'll fill up on this before they ever get fed. That's how delicious it is. You can make a meal out of this. I'm not even kidding. So, this is my island reaction. DIY, do it yourself, at home. Chips and salsa that are better than probably most restaurants you would go to get something like this. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click and subscribe and like this video.
Bye.
And bye.